I am live. I am coming to you from my car. It is Thursday, January 23rd. This is going to be cruise news. I figured I would do this right now. I just got off the Carnival Firenze, and I wanted to let all of you guys know what just happened. The cruise was amazing, but debarkation was just kind of a cluster. You all are probably going to hear about things, so I figured I would be one of the first to let you all know. So this is going to be cruise news live because this literally just happened. It is 10 something, 10:56, 10:55 a.m. and the debarkation process is normally super smooth, but getting off the Firenze, I don't know what it was. Maybe it's a frenzy, maybe it's what happened at the pier, but we were stuck for probably at least a couple hours. So there were already people in line at like 8:30. That's about when I got there. And the lines were, long and packed like normal. But, however, so what happened was that, and sorry, I'm paying attention to driving as I'm doing this. But, okay, so what happened was that the gangway had an issue. So, a few, hundred or, a few people actually got off, but there was a problem with the gangway and they had to shut it down. And for the longest time, kind of no one knew what was going on. There weren't any announcements. The crew kind of told us some stuff. There was like basically no communication for a long time. And what happened was that the gangway was broken. Even when I got off, maybe 15 minutes ago, like 10:45-ish a.m., the gangway still was not working. So what they had to do was they had another, like a backup gangway on deck 0 that people were getting off on. So it was just kind of like a big cluster. So here's kind of my experience is normally I kind of know where to go, kind of navigate around. I kind of got to a pretty good spot on deck 3 because that's the normal spot that you both embark and disembark, where you get off the ship. And when we were there, when we were in line, we got not an announcement, but there was just like a crew member who was telling us some issues with the gangway and what to happen, that some people should go to deck 0. But the problem was that, as you know, on this de-embarkation day, that the elevators, the stairs were packed. No one could get anywhere. Like, people were trying to go up to their rooms or up to other places to hang out, and they couldn't even, people couldn't get up, people couldn't get down. So they told us, we'll go to deck 0. And then I asked, hey, can I take the stairs? The stairs were clear, but they're like, don't take the stairs. I'm like, oh, okay. So I ended up just staying and thinking that they were going to fix the problem pretty quickly. So I stayed in line on deck 3, and the line started moving pretty quickly. And I got up, and I was maybe, 5 people from like getting off the ship, and then they shut it down again. And then I was there, we were all there for, at least an hour and a half, just kind of figuring out what to do. I think we got a total of 3 announcements, like kind of on the intercom speaker. No one really knew what was going on, at least the crew wise. And I totally don't blame the crew, because supposedly what the cruise director announced was that this was a problem with the gangway that they've never encountered before. I'm gonna have to fact check this. I'm just gonna check and see if this is an issue. I have heard that there have been de-embarkation issues before, especially with like the Firenze panorama, or maybe not the, I have heard that there have been de-embarkation issues with the Firenze before. So I'm curious if this is kind of a similar thing. Let me know in the comments if you've been on the Firenze or panorama, or even the Radiant sailing out of Long Beach. Oh, I should have said that. I'm sailing out of Long Beach. Let me know if you have had any issues getting off the ship, things like this happening. So, okay, so back to the story is that I'm on deck 3, right, like 5 people away. I can't, this was alive. But so I am I can literally see, I can throw my bag out into the water, and I can see that, so then finally they make a third announcement that, hey, just, well, sorry, maybe the second announcement was everyone sit down, chill out for a little bit because, you know, it's going to take a while. And then finally later on they said, okay, make your way down to deck 0. So that's kind of what I started to do. I was at the very front of the line, so turning around, now I'm at the back of the line. And I go, they say take the elevator, so I go to the elevator and I get in an elevator. If you've been on the Frenzy, you know that they've got that interesting little touch button thing. So I get in the elevator thinking that it's going to deck 1 or deck 0, but it starts going up. It goes to deck 9, 10, 12. I think finally it was stuck there. So, you know, like there's no buttons inside the elevator. Well, I was stuck, doors opened, and I'm trying to get the elevator to go down to deck 1, but it wouldn't let me. Like I even kind of put my luggage out there, went outside, walked outside, hit the button for deck 1, but it doesn't do anything because it's got like the computer system that figures out which, you know, elevator car to go on. So I'm stuck there. Like I'm like, do I stay in the elevator? Do I leave? Because the elevator literally isn't going anywhere. There's no decks. There's no more decks for it to go to. So it's just kind of stuck. So finally I'm like, all right, I'm just going to leave. I get out and then I'm stuck with this other family. We're stuck there for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes trying to get to another elevator. So we hit the button, wait for another elevator. There were like there were 3 cars that it had signaled, hey, wait for this elevator. Took forever to get anything. Finally get in one. We get down to deck 1 because that elevator doesn't go to deck 0. We go to deck 1, we get out. There's another madhouse there. That's crazy. And then we have to wait in line again to go down to deck 0. And then this is where the crew, I mean, again, not the crew's fault. I totally don't blame them. The crew's trying to figure out what to do, what's the easiest, quickest way to get people off. So they're saying, don't take the stairs, take the elevator. So we get in line for the elevator, and then that starts, I mean, that's taking forever. And then the stairs start moving. They're like, okay, wait, some people can take stairs. We're like, okay, like, what was it? And that was kind of the common thing with the crew was they probably hadn't encountered this. So they're like, okay, well, they didn't really know where to send people. It was the opposite of Disney. You know, like if you go to Disney, the lines are just smooth. Even if it doesn't move quickly, at least everyone knows where to go. The lines are, you know, nice and orderly, and you know, you're going, you know where to go. The crew didn't really seem to know. They were just kind of making it up as they were going. They were making it up of, okay, do we send people to the stairs, to the elevator? Do we go up? Do we go down? Everyone's kind of stuck. It's like a cluster. Everyone's starting to get mad. Like everyone's mad. Everyone's kind of revolting. I overheard a lot of people just kind of asking what's going on because they didn't make many announcements. No one really knew what was going on. And then there were a few people who were, so this is like 9-something, 9:30, 10 o'clock, and there were people who had who have flights at 11 o'clock. And they're like, oh, we're gonna miss our flight. I talked to another couple. They were fortunate enough that they actually changed their flight, so they were good, but a lot of people are kind of freaking out because they think that they're going to miss, and they probably will miss their flight. So fun fact, make sure on de-embarkation day, do not book a flight in the morning. Normally it's super smooth, it's smooth as sailing, but you don't want to be in that situation where, you know, something like this happens and you get stuck, especially if you're flying to the opposite coast or something and you can't really get another flight. Sorry, I'm driving, so if you guys are saying anything in the chat or the comments, I can't read that. Sorry about that. If you're watching this later, post in the comments, let me know what you think about this whole situation. I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about my trip. I'm gonna do a full review. I'm gonna do a full ship tour, as this was my first time on the Frenzy. So I am gonna do kind of like a normal video, but I thought I would go live. This is actually my first time going live. Let me know if you like this style, you know, kind of blogger, vlogger thing where I just talk. So I'm just gonna kind of share as I'm driving. I figure I will share what happened and just get all this info out to you as cruising is, because this literally just happened like less than half an hour ago. So you all know what's going on. If you are scheduled to leave on the Frenzy today, Thursday, January 23rd, just know there's going to be some delays. Let me know how long. I'm actually really curious how long it takes for them, and if they even fix the gangway, how long it takes you to get onto the ship. and all that stuff. So let me know either in the comments how all that went, or if you hear on the news or anything, John Held. Okay, one of these days I'm going to pronounce it right. John Heald. You know, if you hear from him, what's going on. But again, just to kind of recap, that's what happened. Is I was leaving the Carnival Firenze, and we were stuck because the main gangway, it was broken. We had to de-embark on deck 0, and that's meant for um, port departures and stuff, like for Ensenada and stuff. So it's definitely not set up for a quick departure. So it took forever going that way. It was crazy. No one knew what was going on. The crew did their best. So amazing job. Hats off to the crew. I know you were just kind of dealing with it. There were a lot of irate passengers who were like yelling at crew. Totally don't blame the crew at all. I know it was kind of an unforeseen situation, kind of a bummer. One thing that I will say is that in these types of situations, what everyone really wanted was just some communication. Even I think, and being in positions like this in the past is, just as leadership, as a leader, someone who teaches leadership to Fortune 100 companies is give us information. Even if it's hey, I don't know what's going on, or we don't know, or we're working on the problem. I've been in that situation where other people want to know. Sometimes it's helpful just to say, hey, here's where we're at. I don't know what's going on, but here's the situation. Or at least being decisive. There was kind of a lot of back and forth of do we send people to deck 0? Do we stay at deck 3? People just wanted to know what was going on. And because there was a change, I think hopefully, just coming from that background, hopefully there's going to be a change or an addition to SOP's standard operating procedure so that Carnival, the cruise line, knows, hey, if this 1 in 100 chance encounter ever happens again, that they know that the crew knows what to do. They have backup plans. They know how to redirect people. The flow of traffic, where to send people. I think that would be something that's very critical, very nice to have for people to go through. That will be something nice. Yeah. I think, Noel, you were on there. Nice seeing you. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Okay. I might as well tell you a little bit about my trip since I'm still driving. I am driving home. It was a great trip. It was a frenzy. I'm going to say all this on my tour, but in case you're watching this live right now, you can kind of get a preview. Thank you for everyone who's watching right now. Okay, so on the Carnival Firenze, this was my first time. I've been on the Radiance a bunch of times. On other ones, I think it was the Inspiration. Been on the Inspiration, on the Radiance. So been on those ships a ton of times. And I think I just maybe not got a little bored with Radiance. I wanted to see what else was out there. Maybe cheat on the Radiance a little bit. So I thought, hey, let's check out the Firenze. And being almost a brand new ship. So the Firenze, fun fact if you didn't know, Firenze came over from Costa. So Costa is a sister cruise line to Carnival. So owned by the same kind of umbrella corporation. So I think it's Carnival, Costa, Princess. Maybe there's others, but I know that at least those lines are kind of related in the same cruise ship family. So the Firenze and the Venezia, they both came over from Costa. These are Italian style, Italian flared Carnival cruise, or sorry, these are Italian themed cruise ships from Costa that Carnival brought into their fleet and turned into pseudo Carnival ships. So these are ships that have that Italian flair that were meant for the Asian market. So they would sail in the Asian seas, Asian Pacific seas, but has that Italian flair. You can see that when I do my review and my tour. You'll see kind of all the Italian themed stuff. It was really cool. Now, when I was talking to other people on ship, and my personal experience was that it was a great cruise ship. As a Carnival ship, you just kind of feel like it's missing something. I talked to a lot of people, and they couldn't really put their finger on it the way I kind of liked to communicate it was that it's a great cruise ship, but as a Carnival ship, it felt like it was missing something or lacking something. It was just a little different. So everything that you're used to on Carnival, from the decor to the food to the way they do things, kind of felt like it was shoehorned in. So even eating at Guy's Burger, you know, they had that. I got the Italian style pizza burger, and it was good, but it just wasn't the same as a Guy's Burger. It just didn't feel like a Guy's Burger. Eating at the buffet didn't really feel like it. The main dining room, the main dining room was beautiful, gorgeous, like all this kind of marble looking stuff, these statues, and it was just it's a great looking ship. But if you are expecting Carnival, you kind of, you won't really get that. And I hear that a lot, is that the Venezia, the Firenze are, you either, if you're a Carnival sailor, you either love it or you hate it. Me personally, I'm in between. I think I'll have to collect my thoughts, but when I do the review, I'm going to do a kind of a versus, so the Firenze versus the Radiance. I think there are a lot of things that the Firenze wins. There are some things that I think the Radiance wins. I'm going to have to kind of sit down and note and figure out which things are which areas I prefer, which areas I don't. But that's kind of like a general thing of what is going on with the Firenze. Let's see. I had an interior cabin. I think if you watch, I'll have to see if I can add in links to videos, but if you've seen any of my um, how to book or plan for your first Carnival cruise, budgeting for your first Carnival cruise, I have a video where I go through all the cruise cabin types, even all the cruise ship classes. So cruise ships are organized by class. I'll have a video that kind of goes through all of those. You can check those out. But the Firenze is the same class as the Panorama. I'm going on the Panorama for my first time next month in February, so that'll be really exciting. Look forward, make sure you subscribe so you can watch the video when I do the ship tour and review on the Panorama. But I am working on the Firenze ship tour review, kind of all these other things. I did do a Cabo ship excursion. That was amazing. It was Discover Cabo by Land and Sea. It was, I'll have to remember, I don't remember the name of the tour line, but our guide was Armando. If you're watching this, shout out to you. He was awesome. He was amazing tour guide. The tour itself was phenomenal. Highly recommended. And so what we did was, first we got on a little ship, maybe it's a boat, probably a boat. We got on a boat and we sailed around to the kind of the point of Cabo. I don't know what you call it, but kind of like the bottom point of Cabo, the southernmost tip. And we got to see those kind of little islandy things. That was awesome being able to see that. We also had some great views of the Firenze. I got some great shots, some great video of the Firenze, even got some good shots of the Panorama. So we did that. We sailed around. That was, I don't know, 40 minutes, an hour. So we did that. And then after that, we went back to land, and then we took a bus, and it was a 4-hour tour on a bus, and we drove around. First, we went to this restaurant that was amazing. It was a restaurant. The restaurant was closed during the day, but it had the best view. Was at the top. It was like at a high point of Cabo that overlooked the whole bay. You can see the cruise ship, you can see the port, you can see all of the boats and ships and all that. You can see the Cabo Point. So we got to see that. And then we drove into kind of around over to San Lucas or San Jose. So there's Cabo, there's San Jose. We went over to San Jose. I think it's like a 20-minute drive away. So we went there. That was cool. Got to see a couple things. So we stopped, got to tour the main kind of city a little bit. We had food. We went to a place called Jasmine. Everyone there was really nice. So I would recommend going there. It was a little bit pricey. probably just because they have a partnership with the tour guides and all that. Don't blame them at all. But the food was good. Everyone there was really friendly, really nice. It was $18 US to eat there. So the restaurant's called Jasmine. That's where we went. People did some shopping. Then we went to another place down the way, maybe like a few minutes away. And from there, that was cool. We just got to walk around, do a little bit more shopping. And while we were there, what I actually decided to do is I got a massage. We were only there for, I think, 20, 30 minutes, 25 minutes. So walked by, they had like a bunch of massage places. They have the chair massages. So I'm like, hey, can I get 10 minutes? They didn't even charge me, which was awesome. They just said, hey, just give a tip to your masseuse. So she was awesome. When I'll do like my review, my tour, and then I'll do a video on this Cabo tour. So I'll show you what place I went to, so you can all check it out if you want to, which was amazing. Basically a free 10-minute massage. I tipped the masseuse. So thank you so much if you're watching this. And so go check them out. So I did that. We got back on the bus. Then we went back to Cabo and we did a glass blowing tour, which was cool. We got to see all the glass that they make, like the master glass blower and his apprentice. They were doing that. And then we went back. Fun fact, getting back, so it's a tender port, so you have to wait for kind of I forgot what you call it, but the boats that bring you back and forth. That line was crazy. So we changed our schedule. So one fun fact, I did book the ship excursion through Carnival, and I'm so glad I did that. I know it's more expensive. However, this is what happened is we changed our itinerary, so we switched our days. And because of that, we not only switched our days, we switched our times that we were in Cabo. So I didn't have to do anything. All of that was changed for me automatically. I know other people had tours and excursions that they planned outside of Carnival that they had to scramble and figure out what was going on. So I'm actually really glad that I booked with Carnival to do that. This isn't necessarily a paid plug. Carnival doesn't pay me anything. However, hey, Carnival, if you want to sponsor me, love that. Anyone else, if you want to sponsor me, hey, I'm available. I will pimp myself out for you. Okay, no, but yeah, so that's what happened, is that our itinerary changed, what days we were in, which ports, all that changed around in the times. So we were supposed to get to Cabo at like 9:30. We ended up getting there at 6:30. So to meet up for my excursion, I had to get up early to get there at 6:30. Everyone had to be there because being in Cabo, we were only there from 6:30 to 2:30 because the Panorama was also there at the same time. We overlapped for maybe an hour, but they were there from later till, in the afternoon, evening. I think they kind of the Panorama got shortchanged a little bit in terms of how long they were there. And then, we were there super early. So all of that jumbled around. It was changed. There were 3 cruise ships in port that were anchored at Cabo that were all going in. So the lines were crazy. For the getting back onto the ship for the tender port, the Panorama wasn't too bad because this was maybe an hour into them actually getting there. But the lines to get back into the Firenze was long. It went all the way around. My review, I'll show you kind of the footage of how far the line went. And I don't know, maybe it was like half an hour or something like that. I got there with about an hour left, before last call. And the lines were already long. So if you are going to Cabo, just keep that in mind, that that line to get back to your tender port, it was pretty crazy. It was pretty long. And that's what happened. But okay, so for everyone tuning in that's new, hi, I'm driving back. I just got off the Carnival Firenze and I went live just because I wanted to explain what happened. Is that we were getting off the Firenze and it was kind of a cluster. Wasn't anyone's fault. It was really just what happened was that there was a problem with the gangway. So the gangway kind of broke or something, and only a few people got off on the gangway first, and then they had to shut it down because they were trying to fix it. So they're trying to fix the gangway. The crew's trying to figure out what's going on, where do we go, all this stuff. You know, no one really knows where to go. I'm trying to, everyone's kind of trying to play the game of, do we, because the crew didn't really know, like, do we stay and wait on deck 3? Do we go down? They were telling some people, hey, we're going to go on deck 0, but it wasn't a kind of clear and definitive answer, because some people would say deck 0, other people would say, oh, stay here. And no one knew that deck 0 was actually working. So it kind of seemed like, people were getting the runaround. Some people were told to go up, to go down. It was kind of crazy and hectic. So, a lot of the crew didn't really know what was going on, which, again, I don't fault them. I don't blame them, because it was a new, theoretically, I think, or what was communicated to us, the sparse communication that we did have, was that, there was a problem. They didn't know how long it was going to take to fix or what was going to happen. But I think there were 3, maybe 4 times that we got an intercom communication from the cruise director of what was going on. So one, thank you, Joey, our cruise director, for giving us that information. I'm sure he was operating on limited information as well, because it wasn't a Firenze issue. It was part of the dock, the gangway. It was an issue there, and later on you'll see footage. You could see 2 people who are underneath the gangway who are working, like mechanics, working on trying to fix what was going on. So yeah, that's what happened on the Carnival Firenze. Today is Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. So that is what happened on the Carnival Firenze. If you are sailing on the Firenze, let me know. I'm really curious what happened. If you find out, what happened, or KK, you are doing a back-to-back, let me know if you found out what happened. So she wasn't the same sailing as me, but she booked a back-to-back, so she gets to stay on the ship to kind of stay. So she doesn't have to deal with any of this. But I am really curious how long it's going to take them to fix the gangway and what's going to happen. I definitely know that embarkation is going to take a long time. Even the crew knew that this was a big issue. They opened up the Lido deck. They said that they had food serving later, because of all these issues, debarking on the Firenze out of Long Beach, that they set up more food for people to have. They even put on a movie on the Lido deck. They were telling people to go up to deck 5, deck 10. However, that was part of the issue, was that all the elevators were swamped. The elevators were packed. Everyone, was just kind of like a traffic jam. So everyone was stuck. No one really knew where to go or how to get there. I finally got off. I was like 5 people away on deck 3. I could see right out to get out, but we were stuck. And then finally they made an announcement. Everyone's like, okay, finally they kind of start sending us to deck 0, and that's where we went. And then I finally got, that was like a whole cluster crazy thing where, like they're saying, hey, take the elevator. The elevator went to deck 1. Then we had to get in another line that waited forever to get to deck 0. I actually went, so I was on deck 3. I was close to the front of the line when they actually shut it down. Not shut it down, but when they made the announcement that, hey, everyone needs to go to deck 0. So I'm at the front of the line, have to turn around, and now I'm at the back of the line, which that was fun. They say, okay, go to the elevator. I go into the elevator thinking it's going to deck 1, like they're saying, like they told me, hey, go to deck 1. I get in the elevator, it takes me all the way up to deck 12. And because it's the fancy computer elevators, it gets to deck 12 and it's not programmed to go anywhere else. So it's literally just stuck there. Elevator still might be stuck there right now, but the elevator's stuck there. I don't know if I should leave or get off. Because I can't push any buttons to go anywhere. So finally, I even kind of exited the elevator, hit the button for deck 1 to see if it would be smart enough, but the elevator still didn't have anywhere to go. When you look on the elevator screen, there's no destination, so it's not going anywhere. It's literally just sitting there. Finally, I take my bag, leave. The elevator's just stuck there. I find another couple who has been there waiting forever. And then we try to go to deck 1. We wait, a while longer, maybe 10 minutes. Finally, we do get a different elevator We were waiting for like 3 different elevators. Finally, we get one when it goes down to deck 1. Then we have to get off the elevator because it doesn't go to deck 2. Then we have to wait. You know, that's like another cluster. They say don't take the stairs, take the elevator, and finally the stair line starts moving. They're like, okay, hop onto the stairs, and then we're like, wait, but we were waiting here, and all this stuff. I made the, you know, you could say it was a mistake, but I was being friendly, or at least trying to be considerate, where, you know, I'm not cutting lines. So when I got off the elevator, the next elevator opened for deck 0. I'm like, oh, these people seem like they've been waiting here for a while, so I let other people get on. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe it was a nice thing to do. Let me know in the comments. But so all these people going on, I'm not able to get on the elevator, and that elevator doesn't come back for forever. So it's like another, you know, 15-minute wait just to get onto the next elevator. They say, finally the crew says, okay, get into the stair line. I'm like, wait, hold on. Some people, the minute people start heading for the stair line, which is crazy, then that elevator opens up, and then people are like trying to run back, like, wait, hold on. So, oh my gosh, it was just like crazy. If you've been on cruise ship, you know I never take the elevator on embarkation or de-embarkation day because they are crazy, especially on these kind of crazy computer controlled ones, because, oh my gosh, it's kind of like a cluster. These elevators are actually, I think they're pretty cool when everything's working well, but in these situations like embarkation, de-embarkation day, when there's something weird going on, the elevators are just kind of like, it's like a computer that the program doesn't get, and it just kind of goes haywire, and it's like, oh, I don't know what to do, and it's like the rat fell off the computer, you know, the rat fell off the wheel, and the elevator doesn't know what to do. But that's kind of that crazy thing that happened on the Firenze. So this is the Carnival news that I'm going live because I wanted all of you to hear this first. I'll probably make another video later just about it, about everything that happened. I definitely am going to make my review of the Carnival Firenze. I'm going to do a ship tour. I'm also going to do like a ship versus, so I'm going to do a Carnival Radiance versus the Firenze. And then next month when I go on the Panorama, I'll also do a ship tour, a review of the Panorama, and also versus like the 3 ships that sail out of Long Beach in California for Carnival are the Panorama, Firenze, and Radiance. So I'll do a comparison of all 3. So you know which cruise ship to take, you know which one, you know what are the pros and cons for each. So you can figure out which ship that you should take. Also, make sure you check out one of these videos. I do a, you know, how to plan for your first Carnival cruise. You might have cruised on Carnival before, but I kind of break down, there's kind of 5 main things of, here are things that you want to think about when you're planning your Carnival cruise. So things like, I have like, at least how I plan my cruises is breaking down the 5 main categories that you want to think about. So you've got budget, destination, port, so like port, destination, ship class, so you know, like ship or ship class, and then there's something else that I think, oh, and then date, right? So those are all different things that you need to prioritize when you are figuring out your cruise. So you want to think about that because it'll make it easier to search for the cruise that's going to fit you the best. So some people might think price first, or you might think, for me, it's date first. It might be ship class first. Let me know if you are one of those people who's like a diehard cruise director person, like you follow your favorite cruise director. I know Carnival Fire, she is one of the newest cruise directors. I did a photo shoot with her like way back when she was a model, she was an actress. So that was actually really cool that I got to see, hey, I did a photo shoot with Carnival Fire. So that was awesome. I would love to be on a ship, just to be on one of her ships, just to be able to say hi and see her again. If you're watching this video, hi Kendall. I'm not sure if you remember me now that you are famous, but yep, so that's Carnival Fire. So those were kind of the main categories. I'll just explain, this is how I book my cruises, or at least how I started booking it. It's a little bit different now, but I used to look at date first, just because I worked at a church, so we were always crazy busy, and I had limited availability on when I could sail, and it was always from, Sundays are like our main day, so I would always try to sail from Monday through Saturday. So usually I would look, so that was the main thing, is I'd look for specific dates that I knew I could, that's like after a major conference or after Christmas, after Easter, things like that. So look at date first, and then I would look at budget. I was pretty rich at the time, and I would look at my date first, then look at budget. Basically, what was the least expensive cruise that I could get on that fit that date? Lucky for me, the dates that I could go on were actually some of the best times to cruise for budget-friendly cruises. So these are like January, February, like Mayish time, August, September. So those were the times that I found myself kind of cruising a lot, and those actually happen to be some great budget times to cruise. That's also why I always book an interior cabin. Oh, that's another thing to think about is, cabin type. So, you can get, if you get like there are, 4 main cabin types. Carnival lists 8, but it's really 4. You've got an interior cabin. You've got an interior cabin with a picture. It's like it's a monitor that shows you the outside world. But you've got an interior cabin that has a hole, like a little port. So basically an ocean view. It doesn't have a deck, but you can see the ocean. Then you have an ocean view, that's an ocean view. It's an interior ocean view cabin. Then you have a balcony cabin. That's where you can, get out, you get fresh air, you can walk out, you've got your own cabin. And then finally you have a suite, which is multiple rooms and a balcony. So those are the 4 types of Carnival cabin types. So that's, one of the 5 things to consider. You've got cabin type, you've got cruise ship class, you've got date, you've got budget, and then port or destination. So those are kind of the 5 main considerations that you need to think about when you're booking your first or any Carnival cruise, or probably cruising in general. I really choose to book with Carnival. I do want to check out some of the other ones. I really want to check out Celebrity, but I was looking at prices. It's 3 times the cost of a Carnival cruise. So for right now, I'm just gonna stick with Carnival because I do love it. I've talked to a lot of people who have maybe been on like MSC, especially like the Yacht Club or something like the super fancy things, or like the Terrazzo area. It's like, okay, I know I would love it, but it's kind of like, nowadays I've started going to fancy steakhouses, getting like the Wagyu or like a dry age. And I used to be totally fine and happy with Outback. Now I'm like, oh, Outback, or oh, just Texas Roadhouse. So I know that I'm gonna love sailing on like Celebrity or some of these kind of fancier things. I'm just gonna hold off, keep sailing on keep sailing on Carnival, because I still love Carnival, and I figure, hey, let's keep sailing on Carnival as long as I can. And eventually when my business starts taking off, then maybe I'll start doing Celebrity or some of the other things. But for now, I'm loving Carnival. I'm just gonna keep sailing on Carnival. But okay, so back to kind of the reason I'm doing this Carnival Cruise News is that there was this huge debacle with the Carnival Firenze on disembarkation, that the gangway was broken, all kinds of chaos and upheaval, communication issues, no one really knew what was going on. People ended up having to get off on deck 0, the deck that's usually for ports like Ensenada, or just get off the ship and walk off. So we all had to go through that, and it definitely made the process a lot slower. There were traffic jams everywhere. I'm really curious what actually happened. So if you are still in the Carnival Firenze right now, so today is Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. So if you are getting off the Firenze, or if you are getting on the Firenze, let me know what happened. I'm so curious, because I didn't want to stick around and find out. I didn't want to F around and find out. I wanted to get off the ship. But if you are still there, or if you're getting on the ship and you found out what happened, let us know in the comments what happened, how long it took for them to fix the gangway. So KK, I know you're doing a back-to-back. If you found out what happened, let me know. Or anyone on the Facebook groups, let me know what happened. Just so curious. Again, so I was on the Carnival Firenze, sailing out of Long Beach, and on the demarcation, what happened was that the gangway broke. So that's what happened. So that's why I'm bringing you this YouTube live, this cruise news, Carnival Cruise News, so you can hear exactly what happened. Be the first to hear these news and the updates. Okay, so speaking of Carnival Cruise updates, here are a few other things that have been going on, some other Carnival Cruise news in the past couple months. Let's see, so one, it was an announcement in December that Mexico is going to start charging for like a tax. Basically, it's a tax that they've always had, but they never actually charge cruise line passengers. They're going to start not only charging cruise line passengers, but they're increasing the fee. So it's something like $45 per person. Originally, we thought it was per port, so we thought, oh wait, if I'm going to Cabo twice and Ensenada 3 times, that's 45 times 3 or something. They have clarified that it is only going to be once per passenger, and they also said it was supposed to start in January 2025. They delayed it to July 2025. Hopefully they will either delay it again or just cancel it altogether. So that was one piece of Carnival, or just cruise news in general. That was one piece of cruise news. Carnival cruise news is that Carnival upped their price out of nowhere. They surprised everyone with a price increase for both their Cheers beverage program and their Wi-Fi. So for their Carnival Cheers beverage program, they had 2 tiers. It was if you had sailings of 5 days or less, you got charged a higher price. If you had sailings of 6 days or more, you got charged a lower price. The lower price tier, they bumped it up to the higher price tier. I think it's like 82 something. So basically everyone is always going to pay the $82 per person per day for the Carnival Cheers drink package. So that was it was kind of confusing for a lot of people. So instead of having 2 different prices, now they only have 1 price. It was out of left field. They didn't, normally Carnival will make a pre-announcement so that people can go and book all of their packages ahead of time, but no, they just raised their prices overnight without any warning. A lot of Carnival passengers were really upset with that. They did the same thing with the Wi-Fi. So for example, for me, I usually get the Wi-Fi. I was waiting until later just because with my work schedule, sometimes I have to, I actually had to cancel a booked cruise and reschedule it. So I'm like, okay, I'm just not gonna book the Wi-Fi because I don't even know if I got a refund on that. I'll have to look. I don't think I did. I'll have to check. But so I was like, oh, I'll just wait and then book still before I get on the ship so I get the discount, but wait until last minute. So I waited, and then, I had to pay the higher price on the Wi-Fi, but, I'm like, okay. So I get it. It didn't I get it. I would love to pay less. It didn't really upset me. I know it has upset a lot of other Carnival Cruise passengers. Let me know in the comments what you think about these price hikes, about this Carnival Cruise News. Finally, the last Carnival Cruise News that happened was that Carnival made 2 changes to their late night dining that surprised a lot of people. One is that, so if you remember, the Pizza Pirate or Pizza de Capitano, that used to be open until 4 a.m. So all the people, playing the casino or drinking, going to the club late at night, they would leave. They're all drunk. They get that pizza late at night. They stopped that. So late night pizza is now only available until midnight. Now, what the messaging is that they said, hey, well, we're going to close pizza, and this is the thin slice pizza, the fresh pizza. But what they're going to do is Carnival is going to have a late night buffet, like a pseudo late night buffet. It's kind of more like a late night snack. It's not the same midnight buffet from, decades ago when it was super fancy, like the ice sculptures, all that. However, so it's a late night snack, and it's open from 11:30 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. and that's it. So Whereas before you can get pizza up until 4 a.m., you can't do that anymore. The pizza that you can get on the buffet, it is a Chicago style pizza. A lot of people who actually love actual Chicago pizza, say it's not Chicago pizza. Carnival says it's Chicago style pizza. And you can check out the footage when I do my Firenze ship tour. In terms of the food, most of the comments that I'm hearing from people is that it's not great. It kind of looks like leftover food, and it's a bummer for most people. Okay, so very important. If you are one of these people, write in the you can write in the comments for me, but in your cruise ship feedback survey, so after you take your cruise, make sure you fill out that survey and let them know that you want them to bring back pizza. That's very important. I think that's probably the only way that we're actually gonna bring it back. So if that late night pizza is important to you, make sure you fill out this survey. So I think that's the only way that the Beards will hear this and will actually bring it back. Who knows if they will, but I think that is the only way that they actually will do that and make that change, bring that back. Okay, so those are kind of some of the other Carnival Cruise news that have happened in the past month. So again, this is January 2025, it's January 23rd. So this is all news that's happened in the past month. So 3 crazy Carnival Cruise news updates. The latest today that just happened was disembarkation on the Carnival Firenze. The gangway broke, and it was just a cluster. It took forever to get off, a lot later. It definitely delayed a lot of things, and a lot of people were getting stuck, not being able to make their flights, all kinds of other stuff. So that was kind of the crazy Carnival Cruise news that just happened less than an hour ago on the Carnival Firenze sailing out of Long Beach. So for all of you who are watching live, that's what happened. If you are watching this later, that's again still what happened. But that is the kind of Carnival news update for today. Let me know in the comments if you found out, if you're watching John Heald or if you're watching the Facebook groups or anything else. I'm really curious what happened. Like if you have found out, what happened with the gangway, or if you're getting onto the Firenze, how long it's taking you to actually get onto the ship because of this issue with the gangway. I feel really bad for the crew, for the people on the next cruise, because it's definitely going to delay the people getting onto the ship today, January 23rd. And I feel bad for the crew because it's not their fault. It's not their fault because it was an issue with the gangway. They weren't getting the right information. Probably no one really knew what was going on. So it was tough for everyone. Everyone's kind of making the best of what they could. There were a lot of kind of angry passengers. For me, I was chill. I'm cool either way. I'm still on the ship. I wasn't in a rush to get off. So I'm chill, I'm good. But a lot of other people were kind of upset. A lot of people wanted more communication, wanted to know what's going on. So I would say, that is a constructive feedback to Carnival, is if there ever is an unfortunate or kind of a crazy situation again, what we were told is that this situation, the gangway breaking, has never happened before. So they literally didn't know what to do, how to fix it. So I appreciate at least that communication. Would love, just from my background, I've been a leader, manager, leader in the past. I teach leadership and management to Fortune 100 companies. So, that is definitely something that is important. If you are a leader or a manager, is communication. That Gallup did studies on, hey, these are the four things that followers need from their leaders. Is leaders need to build trust, show compassion, provide stability, and show hope for the future. Really being able to communicate these things. These are important things for leaders to be able to do and managers to be able to do. So, fun tip for Carnival, that this is what I do on the, not on the side. This is actually this is my main job. I, help teach Fortune 100 companies these leadership management, team building skills. So Carnival, if you want some help, training your leaders and managers, hit me up, or anyone else. This is what I do for a living, cruising and making cruising videos for Ruben's Random Sandwich. This is my fun hobby. I love doing this also, but just telling you all a little bit more about my life. If there's any other questions you'll have, so again, I'm coming to you live right now after leaving the Carnival Firenze. So if you have any questions for me, let me know. I am driving, so I'm kind of monitoring it. Hopefully I'll get to it, or if nothing else, I'll get to it in the comments later after I post this and this goes, and you're watching this later. So if you are not watching this live, you're watching this later. Hopefully you'll see some updates in the comments. I'll put it in the description exactly what happened. I'll also post another more succinct video, Carnival Cruise News video of exactly what happened. But this was less than an hour ago of what happened on the Carnival Firenze today, January 23rd. It's a Thursday, 2025. The crazy things that happened with the Carnival Firenze and disembarkation. I don't know which way you say it. Let me know in the comments. Is it deembarkation, disembarkation? I don't know. But yeah, so again, if you are watching live, this is what happened. The Carnival news updates sailing out of Long Beach on the Carnival Firenze is that the gangway is broken. So, there was this huge cluster of leaving, getting off. So hi to everyone who's watching live. Thank you so much for watching this live. But that is the news of what happened. Excuse me. So if you're watching this live, give me a minute. I am driving home. I just realized that I'm kind of on autopilot. I just want to make sure I'm heading the right way. I see the ocean to my right, so I'm thinking I'm heading in the right direction. I don't even know how I got here. I don't know if any of you have done that. You're kind of driving, you're on autopilot. I turned off my Apple Maps. I didn't want that to interrupt because I am going live. I didn't want that to kind of ding and tell me where to go. But so I'm just kind of checking, make sure that I am heading in the right direction and that I'm actually going home, and I will make it home so that I will work, so then that way I can work on all the videos that I'm gonna make for all of you. So if you are not already subscribed, please subscribe. Please like and comment so you can watch more of my videos. So my name is Ruben. This is Ruben. Blah, blah, blah. I'm learning English. My name is Ruben. My channel is Ruben's Random Sandwich, and I make videos on cruising and food. I love cruising, I love food, and I love making videos about cruising and food to share my adventures with all of you. So if that is something that sounds intriguing to you, please subscribe so you can see more videos. Again, I just got off the Carnival Firenze. I'm going live to give you the updates on everything that's happening. Again, so I just disembarked the Carnival Firenze. Today is Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. And I'm going live with Carnival Cruise News, some updates so you can hear exactly what happened. First is that the Carnival Firenze, the Carnival port had an issue with the gangway. So the gangway was broken, so only a few people got off, and everyone else, it was this huge cluster, this huge mess. We all had to move and rearrange and go down to deck 0. A lot of us got off. KK, if you are watching this, she is doing a back-to-back. And so let me know what happened. If you found out, you got any more information. I'm really curious how long it took. If the gangway, the gangway still might not be fixed by right now. It is, let's see, it's like 11:50 a.m. today, Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. So I don't know if the gangway has been fixed, if people are still stuck on the ship. I do know that they sent people up back to the Lido deck, to deck 5. They said that they opened the buffet back up, more food, just because they knew it was going to be a crazy long delay. They were telling people to go back to deck 10 to just chillax, to just wait it out if you're not in a rush, because it was going to take a while. So they opened food back up. They turned on a movie up on the Lido deck just because everything was taking so long. It was so crazy. of everything that was happening. But yeah, so that is the Carnival Cruise News update as I'm going live right now, just leaving the Carnival Firenze. I am on my way home from my 5-day, was it five? Yeah, for my 5-day cruise in the Carnival Firenze. It was my first time on Firenze. I'm gonna drink a little bit. Don't drink and drive, but I'm gonna make an exception. Just because I've been talking for an hour, and okay, this car does not know how to drive. Hold on. Give me a minute. This car is figuring their life out. I think it's their first time driving ever, because you're going 40 miles an hour on the freeway. Yep, cool. Learning how to drive, good job. Good for you learning how to drive your first time. But yeah, you can see the ocean to my right. Hopefully, if you've been watching, hopefully I am going in the right direction. If you've got my location, let me know. I could be heading up to LA for all I know. I went live, so instead of following the map to make sure I'm going home, I just popped on. It's my first time going on live because I wanted all of you to know what is happening. The crazy Carnival Cruise News update for the Carnival Firenze that I just got off, that there is an issue at Long Beach with the gangway. So people were stuck on the ship. Finally, they had to open up deck 0 for people to actually get off and leave. If you know what happened, let me know. Let me know in the comments, or let me know later. When I find out, I'm gonna pop onto the Facebook groups and try to find out exactly what happened with the Carnival Firenze, with the Long Beach pier, with the port, what happened with the gangway, because I'm just really curious. I have an inquisitive mind. I want to know what happened. I left, I'm like, hey, peace out, deuces, I'm gone. I didn't want to stay and wait around. One of these days, I might actually just say I should have just gone up to the Lido deck and hung out, chilled there. I'm not in a hurry. I could have stayed there for a while. I'm just curious how long I could have stayed there for forever. Maybe they would have let me just stay on the ship, do a back-to-back. One of these days, I do want to do a back-to-back. So that's what's happening. This is me going live on YouTube. If you're watching this later, or if you're watching this now live, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate that you are watching this. You are supporting me in this channel. So my name is Ruben. This is Ruben's Random Sandwich, and I am not a cruise expert, but I play one on TV. So I make videos, I make YouTube videos and Instagram videos, and TikTok, even though it was banned for a hot minute. I make videos on cruising and food. So if you love cruising on Carnival, if you love food, and you want to join me on my adventures, make sure you subscribe so that you can join me on all of my fun adventures. But I am going live because I wanted all of you to hear this first, the crazy Carnival news of what is going on with the Carnival Firenze, and the fact that today is Thursday, January 23rd, 2025, and sailing out of Long Beach, that the gangway is broken. So again, this is kind of the crazy news update. Less than an hour ago when I left, it was broken as of this time. So if you know any more, let me know in the comments. Or if you are watching this later, I will hopefully have found out more about what happened. I'll post this in the description. But that's really what happened, is that the Carnival Firenze, the gangway was broken. We were all stuck on the ship. It was madness. Disembarkation was a lot crazier than normal. If you've ever been on a cruise ship, leaving the cruise ship, you know how crazy it can be. It was, at least 5-10 times worse. A lot of the crew didn't know what was going on. They're all trying to make the best of what they can, trying to re-navigate. So thank you, crew. You all did a great job. I know that it wasn't your fault. It was kind of a crazy situation of what was going on because the gangway was broken. It took a while for the crew to even really know what was happening. At first, everyone thought, oh, like they'll just be able to, there's just an issue, they'll fix it back real quick. Definitely was not real quick. It still could be broken right now. From the kind of sparse communication that we did get was that the gangway was broken. As I was leaving the ship about an hour ago, like at almost 11, the gangway was still broken, and people had to leave through deck 0, which, not made for kind of the mass disembarkation. So it definitely took a while. Um, I think it's going to take a long time for people to disembark from the Firenze. I have had that there have been issues on the Firenze, um, other issues happening. So let me know in the comments if you're watching this live or if you're watching this later, if you have had issues or if you've heard of issues on the Firenze, with things being delayed, either getting off or getting on the ship. I feel bad for anyone who's getting on the ship today, January 23rd, 2025, that you are going to be delayed getting on the ship. That's a bummer. This does cut into your sailing days. So that's a bummer if that's happening to you. And then to all the people who are flying out, I did hear a lot of people who had booked flights for like 11 a.m. probably going to miss their flight. Let me know if you are one of those people. Let me know if you made your flight or not. I did talk to one couple. They did have an early flight, but they were able to change their flight to later. So that was a relief for them. They were then not kind of stressed out and freaking out about what is going on. Let me know if you were on the sailing, if you made it back, if you were driving. So Jessica and Tammy, hi if you're watching this. Hopefully you drove back safely. Gene, if you're driving back to LA, let me know. All the other friends, are so many amazing people that I met for the first time. Let's see. Oh, the Wonder Twins, the twins who dressed up. They had a bachelorette party. You all were so much fun. They were all dressed in Disney princess outfits. That was so fun to meet you all on the last night. Kind of bummer that we only met on the last night. And all the other amazing people, Michelle, let's see, Ava, like everyone else who I got to meet on the Firenze, thank you so much. It was great meeting you all. If any of you see me on my next cruise, come up and say hi. I love meeting people that I'm sailing with, or if you're a fan from this channel, come up and say hi, especially if you want to make a guest appearance on my channel, come up and say hi. I love meeting all of you. I love meeting my fans. I love meeting just everyone who loves cruising. It's just so fun to be part of the cruising family. If you know me from the Facebook groups, or Instagram, or even TikTok, for like the 10 people who follow me on TikTok, you can also follow me on Instagram. Same channel name, Ruben's Random Sandwich. So that's my channel both on YouTube, on Instagram, and TikTok. So feel free to follow me on all of those things. But again, this is Ruben's Random Sandwich. I am coming to you live on YouTube with some Carnival cruise news updates because I'm leaving the Firenze. So I wanted all of you to know who are watching live exactly what's happening is that the Firenze sailing out of Long Beach, there is an issue with the gangway. So if you are sailing today, if you are leaving, just hopefully you're getting some updates, but you are going to be delayed getting onto ship because of these issues with the gangway. Let me know if you're on that or if you've heard anything, any more news of exactly what's happening with that gangway, if they were able to fix it. So right now it's about noon. So this is Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. Let me know what happened if you found out what happened to the gangway. I'm gonna take a quick break to drink some water, drink and drive. Yeah. But yeah, so this is kind of my update. Again, I am going live for the first time. Let me know, do you all like this? Do you like it? I've never done this before, but this was actually kind of fun. So I might actually do this again and go live again. I am sailing on the Panorama again in 1 month. So I might actually do this and go live just so you all can kind of experience the Panorama with me as I sail on her for the first time. So if you want me to go live when I'm on the panorama, let me know in the comments. I will get the Wi-Fi package for all of you. So again, let me know. I'm going to be going on the panorama. Let me know in the comments if you want me to go live when I go on the panorama. But right now I'm giving you some Carnival cruise news updates going live about what's happening with the Carnival Firenze sailing out of Long Beach, and that the gangway is broken. So when I left about an hour ago, the gangway was broken and people were being rerouted to deck 0. We were stuck on the ship for a little while. Finally, they kind of figured some things out. They figured their life out. They opened up deck 0 for people to leave. Everyone got rerouted. It was like a crazy traffic jam. People eventually made it out. I eventually made it out. It was kind of a fun, it was this whole ordeal. I'll make another video about it, just kind of explaining everything that happened a little bit more succinctly. But that was my first time on the Carnival Firenze. Everything leading up to that point was great. I loved the Firenze. I am going to make a review on it. It's different. I love it as a cruise ship. Again, there are no bad cruises. It's kind of like pizza. There's no bad pizza. Other things that there's no bad of, but there are no bad cruises. So if you are going to sail on the Firenze and you have never been on a Carnival ship, go. You will probably love it. Just go. If you are a Carnival cruiser, watch my ship tour, watch my review of the Firenze first, because a lot of people who are like avid Carnival cruisers are split. Carnival cruisers either love or hate the Firenze and its sister ship, the Venezia. So if you are a Carnival cruiser and you love Carnival, everything about Carnival like me, know what to expect, because it is different. It is a Costa ship, you know, a sister line from Carnival that moved over to Carnival. So they kind of took a Costa ship and they shoehorned all the Carnival things. So if you are expecting Carnival ship, something is going to feel off. It's just not going to feel the same. You know, it's kind of like, it's like staying at a hotel. It doesn't feel like home. So a lot of things that you expect. So Guy's Burgers, the Guy's Burger, the Blue Iguana, the Red Frog Pub thing, the Alchemy Bar. So all of those, you know, kind of like your Carnival staples, they aren't there. They've got other things like, I can't remember what, but they've kind of got their other versions of it. So even like Bonsai Sushi, Teppanyaki, Fahrenheit, the steakhouse, they have all those things. They're just different, and they just feel a little bit different. They all have an Italian flair. Not to say that it's better or worse, it's just different. I am going to do a full review of the Firenze. I'm also going to do a versus. So I'm going to do like a comparison of the Radiance versus the Firenze versus the Panorama, all the ships that sail out of Long Beach. I'm going to do a comparison of all those. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But, you know, right now I'm just giving you the live update of what's happening with the Carnival Firenze sailing out of Long Beach, because the gangway is broken. So again, that's why I'm going live, is so that you all can hear this Carnival news update, hear it from me first, just firsthand, because I was just there an hour ago. Today is Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. So this is kind of the Carnival cruise news, that the Carnival Firenze out of Long Beach, the gangway is broken. So normally you de-embark from deck 3. We weren't able to do that. They basically rerouted everyone to go to deck 0. I'm still really curious. Because I'm driving, I haven't heard from anyone else who's maybe still on the ship. So like Jessica, KK, the Wonder Twins, the bridal party. So like any of you, if you are still on the ship, message me. Let me know if you have found out what's going on, if they were able to fix the gangway, or if you're still stuck on the ship. I do know that they were sending people up to deck 5, to the Lido deck, to tell people to hang out because it was so delayed. So they were telling people go back to deck 10, the Lido deck. They reopened the buffet to have more food. They turned on the movie just because they knew that the delays were going to be substantial. It was going to take a while to get people off the cruise ship. So that's what they were doing. They were redirecting people if they needed to leave onto deck 0. I know that there were some people who were kind of freaking out because they had booked plane tickets for like 11. I heard there were some people next to me who had plane tickets for 11 o'clock. It's like almost 10 o'clock. They're freaking out because they're probably going to miss their flight. So fun fact, when you are booking your next trip, do not book a flight out in the morning. I know it seems tempting. I usually am off the ship by like 8 something, 9 o'clock, but don't do that. Make sure you also get travel insurance. I do want to give you my kind of experience with travel insurance. What happened, I actually did book a Carnival Firenze cruise that I had to cancel because of what happened with work. I had to actually cancel and not rebook, but I had to cancel and book another cruise later because I wasn't able to make my original itinerary. So I'm so glad I did cruise insurance. I got almost all my money back. But again, so back to why I'm live is that the Carnival Firenze, it is out of Long Beach. There is an issue with the gangway. The gangway was broken, so people weren't able to get off as normal off of deck 3, but they kind of rerouted everyone to deck 0. So if you are all watching, hi, thank you for watching live. This is why I'm on live. My name's Ruben. This is Ruben's Random Sandwich, and I wanted to bring you the Carnival Cruise News live. It's my first time doing live, but I wanted to let all of you know what's happening with the Carnival Firenze sailing out of Long Beach, that the gangway is broken. So if you are watching this live and you have more information, you're at home, you've got internet, you're not driving like I am, let me know in the comments. Let me know what happened if you found out, if you're on the Carnival, if you're on the Facebook groups, or if you're watching this later and you found out. When I find out, I'm going to update the description. I'll post a comment about exactly what happened and post some updates. But again, I'm going live because I wanted all of you to hear from me first exactly, all this stuff that's happening with the Carnival Firenze sailing out of Long Beach. So for everyone who's watching live, hello, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments. I'm trying to read some of them as I'm driving, but I'm driving just because I figure, hey, I've got this 2-hour drive home. I might as well go live because I wanted all of you to find out as soon as possible exactly what's going on. So I went live so that all of you can hear firsthand this kind of Carnival Cruise news about what's happening with the Firenze and how the gangway is broken, and just my experience, the fact that I had to reroute. It was crazy. I was on deck 3. There were literally 5 people in front of me on deck 0 to get out, and they kind of shut it down. They're like, no, we can't let any more people out. It's not safe. Totally get that. They're like, finally they're like, all right, everyone turn around, go to deck 0. So I went from being at the front of the line to being at the back of the line. They're like, all right, take the elevator. I got on the elevator thinking that I was going to deck 0, like they told me. Took me all the way up to deck 12. I'm like, shoot, these are the fancy smart elevators. So I can't even tell the elevator where to go because, the elevator is literally stuck. It won't go anywhere because I can't press any buttons on the elevator. I had to get out of the elevator. The elevator could still be stuck right now where it is. Find another elevator, go down to deck 1, leave the elevator. Everyone's saying, hey, wait for another elevator to go down to deck 0. We're waiting there forever. Finally, a crew member says, wait, now you can take the stairs. A bunch of people leave for the stairs. Right when they leave for the stairs, an elevator opens up and then people run back. So it's kind of like a fun day. Everyone running around with their chickens, with their heads cut off. A lot of people were freaking out, just, not happy about what was going on. I was chill. I'm not in a rush to get anywhere. So I'm cool. I'm chill. I'm still on the ship, enjoying it, just kind of being patient. But, it did start getting, it's like, hey, it'd be nice to know what's going on. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna drink and drive. Don't do this at home. Don't try that at home, kids. But so again, I'm coming to you live as I'm driving home, sailing off the Carnival Firenze. So let me know in the comments. I'm just gonna, I've just been talking about my experience on the ship. Let me know in the comments, what do you want to hear from me about as I'm going live? This is my first time going live. This is actually kind of fun. So I might start doing this more often. I might go live on the panorama. That might be kind of fun. Take everyone on a little tour so y'all can, experience the panorama with me for the first time. So I am sailing on the panorama for my first time in February. I'm super excited about that. This was my first time on the Carnival Firenze. So if you've been on her before, you kind of know. If you haven't, stay tuned. I'm going to make both a ship tour. I'm going to make a review. I'm going to make a comparison. So I'm going to break down the difference among the 3 Carnival ships that sail out of Long Beach. So you've got the Panorama, the Firenze, and the Radiance. So I've been on the Radiance a ton. You can watch like my Radiance tour videos. You can watch a lot of my other tours. Like I rank all of the food on the Carnival Radiance. I'm going to do the same thing on the Firenze, on the Panorama. So make sure you subscribe to check out all that. It was cool to kind of see the Firenze. So the Firenze, there's 2 ships. The Firenze and the sister ship, the Venezia, they're the same class of ship. The Panorama is the same class of ship, but really the Venezia and the Firenze are really kind of the sister ships. They're almost identical. They're a little bit different, but almost identical. And they are ships from Costa. So that's the Carnival sister cruise line, Costa ships. And they came over from Costa to Carnival to kind of expand Carnival's fleet. The Venezia sails out of New York right now. And this out of 2025, the Venezia sails out of New York, and the Firenze sails out of Long Beach. So these sister ships, again, they're Costa ships. They are Italian themed ships, and they look nothing like Carnival ships. So if you are used to Carnival ships, it's going to be a little bit different. To me, it just didn't feel like home. It didn't feel like a Carnival ship, but it was still a nice experience. So it's a great cruise ship if you get on thinking, oh cool, I'm going on a cruise. Like, hey, there are no bad cruises. If you are just expecting a cruise, it'll be great. Again, if you've never been on a Carnival cruise ship before, hey, just go. I talked to an amazing couple, or the wife, so Michelle, she sails on Carnival a ton. The husband, it was his first time, never been on a Carnival cruise ever, so he's like, okay, this is cool. But if you've been on a Carnival cruise before, to some people, it's kind of like a lot of people are in the love it or hate it. Some people still love it. Other people hate it and will never sail on it again. I wanted to check it out. I'll still probably go back. I have 2 bookings already pre-booked with the Firenze. I'll probably keep both of them. I'm going to see how much I love the Panorama. Hey, maybe I will love the Panorama more and I'll switch over and then just do more on the Panorama. I've sailed a ton on the Radiance. I know the Radiance in and out. I wanted something new, so I wanted to check out the Firenze. So I just came back. This was my first time on the Firenze, and so I'm going live right now because I wanted to share with all of you live this Carnival cruise news about what happened with the Carnival Firenze and the fact that the gangway at Long Beach was broken. So kind of all the delays, all the hiccups, people disembarking. There's going to be delays on people getting onto the ship for the next sailing. So I'm going to update everyone later. If you're watching live, I'm going to update people later in the description, in the comments, so you can find out what happened. But again, I went live because I wanted all of you to hear exactly what happened and to find out firsthand, to hear first from me kind of this breaking news, what happened sailing out of Long Beach. I'm going to take a break for a drink. Kids, don't try this at home. Don't drink and drive. But okay, so again, I'm going live. This is my first time going live. Let me know, what do you think? Do you like me going live? And so if you did, hit me up in the comments, and let me know if you want me to do this again. Out of when I sail in the panorama for the first time, or maybe if I am, going to a restaurant for the first time. Later today, I'm going to check out Top of the Hyatt in San Diego, so maybe I'll go live up there. Or if there's a restaurant you want me to try out, again, my name's Ruben. I'm not a cruise expert, but I play one on TV. I love cruising, I love food, and especially food on cruises. So if you love those things, if you love cruising, if you love food, subscribe if you want to join me on my adventures, and let me know, are you team cruising or are you team foodie? Or maybe you're team both. So let me know what you love. Let me know what you want to see more videos on, and let me know, do you love long form videos? Well, that's kind of the nickname. Like, do you love the longer format videos that are longer? Do you like the short videos? Do you love watching my shorts? Which of these do you want to see more of? Do you like me going live? Do you want me to go live more? Do you want kind of more of this vlog style content where, a lot of my videos are kind of very produced. I did work for Adobe, so I love doing editing. I do my own editing. I kind of love making a nice polished video for all of you, just making it look nice, making it look packaged. But hey, do you love me just sitting here just talking? Again, I'm actually surprised that I've talked for more than an hour. For some of you who actually know me in person, you know that I am shy and awkward, usually both together. I'm a shy, awkward person live. On camera, I've learned how to do this. I present, I speak in front of people for a living, and I've kind of learned camera presence. Let me know if I've got good camera presence. I feel like I'm decent on camera. I'm definitely shy and awkward in person, but I feel like I kind of put on a persona, kind of like an actor. I'm acting when I am in front of a camera, almost like an actor. So let me know, what do you think? Do you want me to not kind of have, not quite put on the persona and really just kind of be a little bit more of who I am? I mean, I'm definitely who I am in my videos, but I'll edit out my bloopers. Well, I love putting in my bloopers sometimes, just so that you can all see that I'm human. But, like my bloopers, when I say I'm usually okay at not saying all the time, but I can definitely edit those out. When I'm live, I can't do that. So let me know what you think. If you like me going live, if you like the kind of polished look of my edited videos, let me know. Do you like my shorts? When I do these kind of quicker things, the shorts videos, do you watch that? Do you follow me on Instagram or TikTok? For the 10 of you who follow me on TikTok, right now, I think I have the most followers on Instagram. Followed, not too much, not too, a little bit less on YouTube, but I get a lot of views on Instagram. A lot of you on Instagram love my reels. I've got like millions of views on Instagram. So not sure why YouTube isn't really kind of pushing my content, the algorithm, as a lot of people say. My content isn't being pushed as much on YouTube. The same video, so it's either a short or reel. My shorts get, they get decent views, but on Instagram, my reels just kind of go viral. Some of them have millions, hundreds of thousands of views, like 500,000 views, more than that. They'll go viral on Instagram. I'm just gonna make my stuff. I love making this content, so thank you all for watching. It's fun for me. So help me, tell me what you like from me, what you love me to make content on. But again, I just figured I would go live as I'm driving back. This actually made the drive really fun. I might just start going live as I drive around from now on, just so you can kind of get a glimpse into my life. Again, so you can hear the Carnival News live updates from me about what's happening on the Carnival Firenze, sailing out of Long Beach, the fact that the The gangway was broken, and we had to redirect all these crazy things, all these crazy delays. We had to leave off of deck 0 and what happened. So I'm driving home. I'm actually almost home. I'm exiting right now. So this made the 2-hour drive actually just flew by doing this live. This was so much fun. I had a ton of fun. Hopefully you all had fun watching this live. Thank you so much if you've been watching live. Thank you for staying through this whole thing, watching live with me. This was a ton of fun. I'm probably going to do this again. I actually had a lot of fun doing this. I'm going to go live again. Let me know if you want me to go live when I sail on the Panorama for my first time ever. You can kind of get my first take, my first opinion going live on the Panorama. So let me know if that's something that you want to see. Yeah, so I was on the Firenze. Make sure you subscribe. I'm going to make a tour. I'm going to do a video, a tour of the Firenze. I'm going to do a review of the Firenze. I'm also going to do a comparison. So the Firenze versus the Panorama versus the Radiance. So you know everything, all the ins and outs of the different ships. I'm going to show you some hidden spots that I found and that KK showed me on the Firenze, on the Radiance. I'll probably find some other secret spots on the Panorama also. So if you are interested in any of that, if you are interested, if you love cruising on Carnival, if you love good food, then make sure you subscribe to Ruben's Random Sandwich, because that's what I make videos on. I also travel a lot. You know, that's why I have a lot of kind of traveling videos, different food, especially steak. I love eating steak. Basically everywhere I go for business, I'll try a different steakhouse just so I can do a review for all of you so that you can kind of eat vicariously through me. And then also all of my cruising videos. So I love sailing on Carnival. So all of the different Carnival cruises that I get to go on, so you all can join me in my adventures. So for all of you people that I met on the Firenze, it was so great meeting all of you. So KK, Jessica, Tammy, the Wonder Twins, that bridal party. I'm forgetting so many people. Excuse me, like Jean, Michelle. Oh my gosh, so many people that I met. Thank you all for coming up and saying hi to me, for recognizing me. It was so fun meeting you, getting to hang out with a lot of you, having dinner with some of you. So that was a ton of fun for me. I love getting to cruise. I love getting to meet all of you. This was so much fun for me to make this live video, my first time making this video. So thank you so much. Thank you for everyone who's been watching this whole time, just watching me drive. I actually had a ton of fun making this video. I'm probably going to do this again, but I wanted to go live. I wanted to make this video for the Carnival Cruise News Update because of the Carnival, the news updates. I wanted all of you to hear it first from me about the Firenze out of Long Beach, the fact that the gangway was broken. So yeah, that's what, oh my gosh, okay. So people having an accident, figuring out their lives. You can probably see that there. So, all right, well, I am almost home. Thank you so much for joining me, for watching, for supporting me. I really appreciate it. So thank you, everyone, and I will see you all soon. Now I just got to figure out how to end this, and bye.